Suicide house story after 1979, after the Khmer people escaped from the Wallace prison during the Khmer period Red. And also famous for a house known as the home of a couple of women, a couple who shot themselves as the Khmer Rouge evacuated them from Phnom Penh, and this house. No Khmer Rouge dared to walk through, known for being haunted at noon. 2002. During 2002, when Cambodia was peaceful, the people lived happily, but at that time, it was also known that a man named Chi came out to advertise a house for sale on the outskirts of that town. Was a famous house a few years ago. Later, a wealthy family came out to buy a house, which they are Cambodians, lived in the United States during the Khmer Rouge era. They have 5 members. Ren is Favi's husband, Lucis' wife is the first child, Tin is the youngest, and a grandmother named Puli is Favi's mother. On the day of entering the house for the first time, it was a 3-story villa near the National Road. Number 3. A quiet area with few people living besides trees growing on vacant land. This house has a large area that can park 2 cars, surrounded by a fence. Outside vines will have palm trees and mango trees planted in the backyard. If we are human, natural style is a good choice, but if you really like it, it will feel bad. For this sleek villa, after they had cleaned the house and taken care of it, the night came. Arrive. The dark view inside the house is like no one is there. Mango tree, coconut tree, the wind blows with the wind. And Lois is the first daughter while she is asleep. Satisfied, she also heard laughter, and laughter filled her ears, then horror. Arrived at the sound of women crying and walking up and down incessantly, making Lo Si Niang is very scared, while Grandma Puli is sleeping soundly. Where does the blood come from? Knowing it was flowing down through the ceiling, she got up and turned on the light, but the shadow of a person, hairy girl, shows up from outside the window. Grandma Polly, turn on the light and call you frightened. Favi walked with her angry husband extremely. After she entered her mother's room, she did not see what Polly was saying. No. It makes Rain even angrier to say bad things in this new house. The next morning, Lucy took the story from last night to tell Mr. Wren, but Ms. Pavey forbidden. The night has come again. After eating lousy dinner, she came out get some fresh air with a phone plugged into your earphones. A man named Virik Chi Songsa, who lives in the United States, gave her a video call. When they, after talking for a while, Virik asked Lassie, who was on the house, looked at Lassie, she turned around and saw nothing, and hung up the phone angrily. Later, Lucy walked home. But she always felt like someone was following her. Lucy did not dare to turn around and hurried into the room. Brave. Something sounded loud, lousy, no matter how scared she was. Still brave to walk to the source of the sound. When she arrived, suddenly saw her grandmother. She fell off the wheelchair near the stairs, and as a result, she got drunk and picked up her grandmother. Grandma Pulley's eyes turned pale and she could not see, so she panicked and slipped, fell down the stairs and died. As for Ms. Favi, she heard a loud bang and came out of the room to look, but found nothing but the wind. Cold wind blows the leaves outside. Ms. Favi walks out to breathe the fresh air outside. He looked up at his daughter's room and saw a woman standing by the window, eating his own son. He waved to her because Lucy had insomnia. Can't call for 1 minute. The presence of Lucy came from behind her, much to her surprise. Decreasing rapidly because her hands are too cold. Hurry up to the house and meet her husband. But Ren's actions are making her terrified, as Ren was holding her mother's head with dripping blood. Favi could do nothing but escape. She ran into the 3rd floor bathroom, former owner's room. The smell of blood made her leave the bathroom and see her husband standing with his mother on his head and staring in fright. Favi raised a knife to his feet, and Favi pulled out a knife and stabbed her husband. Mr. Wren raised his hand to hug Miss Pavey and said, "Why did you kill me?" Because of this phrase, she could not hold back her tears. then dragged her husband's body, put it in the middle of the house, and he went downstairs to find his son Tin. When he arrived, seeing Tin hanging from a dead fan, sadness, regret, loved ones are lost in the blink of an eye. Ms. Favi dragged the body of her family member in the middle of the house and threw gasoline all over the house. After the fire, Ms. Favi drove away. The car did not last long, it exploded violently, causing her to die instantly in the car. Later, the house was demolished and the land was used to build a school for the children in the community to study from then on. 2.